Max Verstappen finished third in Mexico, P5 to P3, 2 positions gained, a podium secured. On paper, that sounds like a solid recovery drive. But here's the problem. It wasn't solid. It was survival. Because while Max was fighting tooth and nail to hold on to third place, Lando Norris cruised to victory by 28 seconds and took the championship lead. Red Bull brought their biggest upgrade of the season to Mexico, and it spectacularly failed when it mattered most. This is where the story gets interesting. Just 24 hours before that disappointing qualifying session, Max Verstappen topped free practice 2. The Red Bull looked alive. The 4-part upgrade package, new floor, revised engine cover, updated brake ducts, modified edge wing, was working. Finally, after months of struggling, Red Bull seemed to have found something. The data looked good. The lap times were there. The team was optimistic. But then qualifying arrived and the car fell apart. Max could only manage P5, complaining about zero grip, overheating tires, and a front end he couldn't trust. The same upgrade that worked in practice became a liability when it counted. And here's the painful truth. Red Bull's engineers couldn't explain why. They had all the data, all the telemetry, all the resources, and they still didn't know what went wrong. Therefore, Max went into Sunday's race not with confidence, but with damage control. He executed a perfect strategy on medium tires, clawed his way from P5 to P3, and even had P2 within reach on the final lap before a virtual safety car cruelly denied him those 3 extra championship points. He gave 150%. It still wasn't enough. But this isn't just about one disappointing Sunday in Mexico City. This upgrade failure has consequences that stretch far beyond the Autódromo Hermanos Rodriguez. Because in 7 days, Max heads to Brazil with the same problematic car. And 2 weeks after that, Las Vegas awaits. A circuit that will expose Red Bull's grip and tire temperature issues from an entirely different angle. The championship is slipping away, and it's not because Max Verstappen isn't good enough. It's because the team that built him 4 world championships can't give him the tools to fight for a 5th. So how did we get here? How did Red Bull's most significant upgrade turn into their biggest liability? And why is Lando Norris the happiest man in the paddock despite not even being involved in Red Bull's disaster? Let's break it down. The upgrade that broke Red Bull. Here's what made everyone sit up and pay attention. Red Bull was the only team not just bringing cooling upgrades. While everyone else bolted on revised radiators and heat management, Red Bull swung for the fences with a 4-part performance package. New floor, engine cover, brake ducts, edge wing. This was meant to fix their struggles. Free Practice 2 proved them right. Max topped the timesheets. The car was rotating through corners, carrying speed through the stadium section. For the first time in weeks, Red Bull looked like Red Bull again. Then Saturday happened. Max qualified P5, and the confusion was written all over his face in the post-session interviews. He wasn't angry. He was genuinely puzzled. No grip. The tires are overheating. I'm sliding everywhere. The most telling part? Red Bull admitted they didn't know what changed between Friday and Saturday. Same car, same setup, completely different behavior. Max had actually warned them. During those Friday practice sessions where he topped the times, he was already on the radio complaining about tire degradation over longer runs. The team saw the lap times and assumed everything was fine. The data said one thing. The driver felt another. They trusted the numbers. Big mistake. When 150% isn't enough race day, Red Bull threw a strategic curveball. Start Max on mediums while everyone around him took softs. Give up early positions. Make it back when they pit first. Classic Red Bull thinking. Max executed perfectly. Passed Hamilton early. Managed the tires beautifully. When the pit stops cycled through, he'd climb to P3. But here's the reality check. Norris won by 28 seconds. That's not a gap you close with better strategy or cleaner air. That's a fundamental pace deficit, and it gets worse. On lap 70, the penultimate lap, Max was hunting Leclerc on fresh softs versus worn mediums. The gap was closing fast. He was setting up the overtake into turn 1 for the final lap. P2 was right there. 3 championship points within reach, virtual safety car, yellow flags, frozen gaps. Leclerc literally laughed on the radio. "Max, Max, ha 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 ha." He admitted afterwards, "The VSC saved me. My tires were completely worn, and I could see Max catching up. So Max gave everything. Perfect strategy execution, perfect tire management, a brilliantly timed final attack, and still lost those 3 points not because he wasn't fast enough, but because timing said no. When even fate turns against you, that's when you know it's not your day." The wingman move nobody noticed. Oscar Piastri should have beaten Max. He was in the faster McLaren, started only 2 positions back, and his teammate was dominating up front, proving the car had pace. All he needed was a clean run. But Yuki Tsunoda had other plans. Lap after lap, Yuki held Piastri behind him. Not because he was slow, because he was strategic. Every corner Piastri got close, Yuki positioned perfectly. Every overtaking opportunity, Yuki covered it. Multiple laps of frustration that bled away time Piastri needed to catch Max. Eventually, Oscar got through, but the damage was done. Those laps cost him any realistic shot at P3. Yuki played the perfect wingman, and most people watching didn't even realize it was happening. But here's the other problem for McLaren. Even without Yuki's defense, Piastri might not have caught Max anyway. Because all weekend long, Oscar was mysteriously slow. 0.6 per lap slower than Lando. 0.6. McLaren couldn't explain it. The setup looked similar. The car looked fine, but Oscar was nowhere near his teammate's pace, and that mystery played straight into Max's hands. Lando's perfect storm. While Oscar struggled and Max fought his car, Lando Norris had the drive of his season. Pole to flag, a 28-second winning margin, championship lead by 1 point. But here's the beautiful irony. The biggest reason Lando had such an easy Sunday was because Red Bull failed. If that upgrade had worked, Max starts P2 or P3. He's in Lando's mirrors from lap 1. The race becomes a fight. Instead, Red Bull's disaster gave Lando clean air, no pressure, and a clinical drive to extend his championship lead. Lando left Mexico with everything. A dominant win, the championship lead, and the knowledge that Red Bull's latest attempt to catch McLaren had backfired completely. He didn't just win the race. He won because his closest rivals' team eliminated themselves. The smile in his post-race interviews said it all. Red Bull bet big on this upgrade. It crumbled, and Lando's championship hopes just got a massive, unexpected boost. Brazil and Vegas, where Max's nightmare continues. The upgrade failed in Mexico. That failure doesn't stay in Mexico. It follows Max to Brazil next week and Las Vegas 2 weeks later. Red Bull has an impossible choice. Keep the upgrade and hope they can solve what went wrong with limited time, or strip it off and admit they're back to a car that was already losing to McLaren. Neither inspires confidence. But Brazil and Vegas aren't just next on the calendar. They're problem circuits that will expose Red Bull's struggles from different angles. In Mexico, the issue was extreme low grip from high altitude and thin air reducing downforce. Track temps over 40 degrees plus excessive sliding led to tire overheating and brutal degradation. Max was fighting a car that wanted to overheat its tires while having no grip to lean on. Las Vegas flips the script entirely. It's a temporary street circuit run at night with freezing temperatures. The grip level starts extremely low because the surface is green and rubber hasn't been laid down. Those long straights cause tires to lose temperature before heavy braking zones, making it nearly impossible to keep them in the optimal window. Same fundamental problem, opposite symptoms. Mexico. Tires too hot, degrading too fast, no grip from altitude. Vegas. Tires too cold, won't generate heat, no grip from street surface. Max knows Vegas pain. In 2023 and 2024, he described it as driving on ice during qualifying because he couldn't generate tire temperature for single lap pace. He won in 2023, but only because his racecraft saved him after struggling in practice and qualifying. That was with a fundamentally fast Red Bull. Before this upgrade complicated everything, before the team lost confidence in their data and setup direction, Brazil should theoretically be easier. Long straights, elevation changes, characteristics that favor aggressive overtaking. But only if the car is predictable. If Max can trust the front end. If the tires behave over race distance. Nothing from Mexico suggests Red Bull has solved any of those problems. Meanwhile, Lando heads to Brazil as championship leader with the faster car, the momentum, and a Red Bull team that keeps shooting itself in the foot. Max did everything right in Mexico. Qualified as high as the car allowed. Executed strategy perfectly. Defended brilliantly. Extracted a podium from a car that had no business being there. But when you're driving at 150% just to hold third, when the championship leader wins by half a minute, when even a virtual safety car steals points from you on the final lap, that's not racing. That's surviving. And survival doesn't win championships. Not when your next two circuits will expose the same grip and tire temperature issues your car already can't handle. Not when one track will overheat your tires and the next won't heat them up at all. Not when Lando Norris is watching your team self-destruct in real time. Red Bull brought an upgrade to Mexico believing it would change their season. Instead, it handed Lando Norris the championship lead and left Max heading into the final stretch not as a hunter, but as someone just trying to hold on. And that might be the saddest thing you can say about a four-time world champion.